Hi guys, I'm Dr. Fox. I am the Divergent DVM, and I'll be showing you my goats in a minute, but this is hopefully the first of many videos in my series, the Divergent DVM. I'm going to be posting them on my YouTube channel, so if you're seeing this on something other than YouTube and you only get part of the video, then go to my YouTube channel. It's called the Barefoot Holistic Vet. And make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to get up to at least 1,000 subscribers. That would be great. 1,500 would be even better. So go to the Barefoot Holistic Vet, subscribe, and watch the rest of this video. It will have goats in it, I promise. So I'm a third-generation veterinarian. I am pretty much all holistic now. So I do herbs and Reiki and aromatherapy and Chinese veterinary, Chinese veterinary food therapy. I do acupuncture. I'm trying to get certified right now in equine spinal manipulation, which is kind of like chiropractic. We don't call it that, but it's kind of similar. And I'm also going to be doing a Western herbal apprenticeship. So this video, I wanted to show you what the Divergent DVM, so myself, I'm the Divergent DVM through my company. On Facebook, you can find me at the Divergent DVM. On the web, you can find me at www.divergentdvm.com. And the things that I feed my goats. So I have 5 goats right now. This weekend, I'm getting 4 more. So I currently have orchietti, cinnamon. I have ragu, noodle, and s'mores. This weekend, I will be getting baguette and quiche. And I will be getting graham cracker and brownie. So lots of goats, and they all eat pretty much the same thing. And I wanted to show you the herbs that I incorporate and what types of foods that I use. So first, I'm going to let you see my goats really quick. They're all sitting here munching on their hay. So of course they get a generous helping of hay every day. Noodle, the little one, is down there somewhere. Oh, there's S'mores. Hi, S'mores. S'mores says hello. Okay, so let me show you what I feed them on a daily basis. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what each herb does and why I feed them. So their base grain is called Crypto Arrow. So Crypto Arrow is a grain that I get from Wellington, Florida. So I'm in Wellington, Ohio. I can find it on Chewy. I did a lot of research on this product and I love it. So Crypto Arrow Dairy Goat Meadow Mix. And if you guys are on here, hi, sponsor me. No, so I just love it. And it's a great food. It has an alfalfa and Timothy hay pellet. So there's the pellet in it. But it also, if you can see, it has the hay chaff in it. So it's actually got your pieces of hay in it. So it's really great fiber content and really great hay content. It also has whole oats, which I love whole oats. They're very high in beta aminoglycans. They're high in vitamin E. And I actually give them a little bit more of the whole oats because I like the fiber. I like their warming. They're actually a very good tonifying. Kind of a moisture inputting type of food. So I actually add a little bit more of the whole oats to their diet. This combination also has sunflower, which is really high in a lot of vitamins and minerals. And I do occasionally add in more black sunflower, just a couple of black sunflower seeds per goat. It has flax, it has rice bran oil, apples, fenugreek, which is really good for digestion and is really high in calcium. So this is a dairy goat meadow mix. So if I was feeding my dairy milking does, this would be great for them and would increase their dairy production. I only have wethers, which are neutered or castrated male goats, and so I don't worry about it for that. But I love the ingredients because they've got a lot of different properties to them besides increasing milk production. It also has garlic, which I'll talk about in a minute, black cumin. It has chamomile, which is really calming, but also has a lot of antioxidant properties to it. It has spirulina, which is a good protein source, dillweed. So there's a lot of different ingredients just in this meadow mix. It has peas, yellow and green peas. So there's a lot of good stuff just in this mix itself. So this is my base grain that I feed my boys. And like I said, I do add in their oats too. So it has oats in it, but I add in a little bit more oats. And then we get to some other stuff. So I add in my own herbals to their blend. So the first herbal that I add, I have here in my handy dandy triple container. So the first herbal that I add is celery seed. Now I learned this from a great veterinarian friend of mine who also feeds her goats celery seed. Celery seed is an amazing long-term diuretic. Now if you know anything about goats, wethers or neutered male goats do tend to get urinary stones or urinary calculi. And unfortunately, they can plug like cats, which is an emergency situation. So we want to stop them from plugging, and we want to give them the best opportunity to not plug, which is flushing out their kidneys, flushing out their bladder daily, allowing them to urinate. And celery seeds are great for kidney stones. They're great for gout. They're great as a long-term diuretic. And they're really flavorful, so the goats actually really like them in their food. The next thing that I feed is actually garlic, as all of my note cards fall off, which is fine. I know about garlic. So garlic, which I have in this container, I use granulated garlic, is an excellent cardiovascular herb. So it really helps to open up your pores. It decreases plaque buildup, so it's going to decrease your risk of heart attacks. It's going to decrease your risk of stroke. It decreases cholesterol and high blood pressure. But the real reason that I use it for the goats is not exactly the cholesterol or cardiovascular effects. What I use it for is that it's really antifungal. So it's really great for antifungal things. You can use it orally to actually decrease the amount of insects that may get to the animal as well. It is a little bit of an insecticidal, and it's very antiviral, and it's a really good immune stimulant. So goats do tend to have, there's a couple of different viral respiratory diseases and other viral diseases. And so I feed a little bit of garlic to my goats each day. And like I said, it's also in that crypto arrow. And this is the really good antiviral, antifungal, and it does stimulate their immune system. So we're adding a few herbs that do stimulate the immune system to keep these guys really healthy and happy. So the next herb that I use, so we had celery seed, we had our garlic. Now we're going to add in some rosemary. So I go back to my handy dandy 3 cereal divider here, which really works well. And I'll show you another tip that I use for my goats when I'm gone on vacation and someone else has to feed them. So this is rosemary. Rosemary has actually been tested in Alzheimer's cases and different cases of dementia because it increases blood flow and oxygenation to the brain. So it's good for that. It's also really good for circulation. So another thing with the garlic, we've got 2 different drugs that are working on circulation. It can be a little bit of a nervous system stimulant, so it kind of improves mood. They kind of think that that has to do with the improving blood flow to the brain. And it is an antimicrobial as well. So they've actually done some studies on goats, dairy goats, that were fed rosemary and lemongrass, which is another herb that I'll get to. And it does increase the dairy production. And we believe that it's because of the antimicrobial effects of both of those together. So the next herb that I have is lemongrass. And so we just said that it kind of has that antioxidant, antimicrobial property to it. And actually I have my lemongrass in a separate container because I give a lot of herbs. So this is lemongrass. I get all of my herbs from a reputable source and I buy them in bulk. So each goat gets a little bit of lemongrass each day. About a teaspoon to a tablespoon. And like I said, it's antimicrobial, it's antioxidant. It really goes well with the rosemary. And you can look up those studies online. There are a lot of studies with both of those together on dairy goats and increasing milk production. So my next herb, and I believe this is my last one, is rose hips. So rose hips are very, very high in vitamin C, which goats can have vitamin C deficiency, so we do use these for their vitamin C. They're very moisturizing for the skin, so they give them a good hair coat. Rosemaries are also, or rose hips is actually another one of those herbs that does support immune function as well. It is another antioxidant, and it does support heart health. So we've got a lot of heart health herbs. We've got a lot of immune function stimulating herbs. We have a diuretic that's going to help flush out the kidney. And we now have a diuretic that's going to flush out the kidney as well as the liver. So the last thing that I add, and this is only occasionally, more when they're in season, but my boys love dandelion greens. Dandelion roots, flowers, and greens are all really good. The roots are a little bit more potent. My boys like the greens, and I'll show you here in a second how much they like them. And so dandelion greens and dandelion root are really good at hepatic detoxification. So they detoxify the liver of any other drugs or anything that we might have in the liver that needs to be detoxified. They're really good for gallbladder stones, so they do flush out the gallbladder. They're a really good digestive tonic because they stimulate the gallbladder to move and excrete. They're actually a diuretic for the kidneys as well, so they're good for bladder stones. They're good for flushing out the kidneys. And if you know anything about diuretics in the human field or in the veterinary field, diuretics, some of them tend to waste potassium. And so we use a lot of diuretics that are called potassium sparing diuretics. Well, dandelions in themselves are really high in potassium. So it's actually inputting potassium while being a diuretic as well. It's also anti-inflammatory, so it decreases IgE, so it can decrease some allergies and some other allergic responses. It's very nutritional. Like I said, it has potassium, it has a lot of different vitamins and minerals in them, and a lot of your different nutritional needs can come from dandelion greens. And it's also anti-carcinogenic. So a lot of our herbs that we have actually have anti-cancer, anti-carcinogenic properties to them. It's not just about being on a whole food diet. These herbs actually can attack and kill the cancer cells. Some of them actually are immune stimulating, where they increase the tumor killing cells or the killer cells in the body to go and attack the cancer. So there's a lot of different properties to herbs that we want to utilize, and we want to use them in a holistic kind of a manner. And that's why when you cook using a lot of culinary herbs, I mean, a lot of the herbs that we mentioned today are culinary herbs. They are great for your different issues and nutritional needs. There's also, occasionally I give these guys a little bit of turmeric and black pepper. Turmeric is very, very anti-cancer. It's anti-inflammatory. I use it a lot. When you use it with the black pepper, the fresh cracked black pepper, it increases the bioavailability by like 1,000% because of the piperine in the black pepper. So when we increase it 1,000% and then we add that to a fat, so you're adding the turmeric and the black pepper to a fat, it increases the bioavailability even more. So you're getting this huge punch of anti-inflammatory properties just with 2 culinary herbs and a little bit of fat. So imagine just adding that to your diet daily. You can have a great anti-inflammatory effect as well. The other thing that I give these boys, we do get some vitamin C, some vitamin A and D occasionally. I am in a very selenium deplete area, and so I do give them a selenium supplement. However, once a week, they get Brazil nuts raw. Each goat gets 1 Brazil nut. And so if you've never seen a Brazil nut, this is kind of what they look like. They taste really good. The goats love them. I will show them here in a minute eating them. And the Brazil nuts are very, very high in selenium and vitamin E, which is why we only give one a week, because selenium, vitamin E, A, D, and K are all your fat-soluble vitamins, and so they can actually be overdosed. So vitamins like B12, vitamin C, you urinate out, so they're not fat-soluble, they're water-soluble. And those you can't really overdose on, but your vitamin A, D, E, and K, those are the ones that you can actually overdose on. So we only give them a little bit of these once a week, just to make sure that they're getting enough selenium and enough vitamin D. So with that said, I'm going to finish quickly getting their food ready, and I'm going to let you see them eat their dandelion greens and their Brazil nuts while they're eating their hay right now. But do me a favor, go to my YouTube page if you haven't already and hit subscribe. Share this video with all of your goat loving friends. I'll try to do some on different animals. I do all animals, so from gerbils to draft horses to giraffes, whatever it is, I will work on it holistically. And if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Send me a message. If you have something you want me to do a video on, send that to me as well. So my website is www.divergentdvm.com. My YouTube page is the Barefoot Holistic Vet, and you can find me on Facebook at Divergent DVM as well. So hopefully you guys will go see those and subscribe. I'm also on TikTok. All right, so everyone is lined up and ready to get their Brazil nut. So again, these are Brazil nuts and they get one a week. So here is S'mores eating his Brazil nut. And then Orchietti, Ragu, and there's Cinnamon eating his Brazil nut. Now, my little one, my little noodle, he doesn't like Brazil nuts. So once a week, he does get a selenium treatment. Okay, here are all the boys lined up to get, they're all waiting to get their dandelion leaves. They love their dandelion leaves. Usually I just put these in their hay feeder so they can all pick on them, but today I'm just letting them eat them out of my hand because they're cute. Orchietti, Orchietti. I'm gonna put these in their hay feeder so that little man, little noodle down there, can get them. And last but not least, everybody comes out for their grain. Now this is the mix of herbs that we used. So there are herbs, and there's the crypto arrow, and hopefully you can see down there, that is Noodle. He was under the hay feeder, so he is covered in hay. But everybody gets their cup full of grain. Hi, Noodle. So Noodle does have a deficiency. His legs were like that when he was born. So if you saw him, he does get a supplement. I actually use Solomon's Seal as a tincture. So there again, that's Noodle down there. Oh, hi, Ragu. So Noodle will get his supplement today as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, go to my YouTube page. Make sure you hit subscribe, and I will try to put out some more videos, more goat videos. I can do dogs, cats, horses, cows, whatever you guys think you would like to know some holistic medicine about. Feel free to share my video and hit subscribe and go like me on TikTok and Facebook. Thank you. Bye.